We all wake up in the morning with that quiet little voice in our heads, don't we? A voice that starts immediately. What will people think if I do this? What if they judge me? What if they don't approve? And then, just like that, we begin living not for ourselves, but for the opinions of others. It starts in the morning with decisions we make about our appearance, our actions, our career, and our relationships. It continues throughout the day, influencing every choice, every interaction, and every word we say. It feels as if we're constantly being watched, judged, evaluated by others, and the desire for approval controls the way we move in the world. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why does it matter so much what others think? The truth is, we are born free, untethered by the expectations of others. When we are children, we don't care what others think. We express ourselves freely. We chase our dreams without hesitation, and we explore the world with wonder and curiosity. But somewhere along the way, as we grow older, we learn that to fit in, to belong, to be accepted, we must act in ways that others deem acceptable. We start performing, adjusting our behavior to meet others' standards. We suppress parts of ourselves that we think won't be approved of, and we silence our true desires because we fear being rejected. But here's the thing. When we stop living for ourselves, we stop living. Think about the number of times you've held back because you were afraid of being judged. How many times have you stayed quiet when you wanted to speak up, simply because you were afraid of what others might think of your opinion? How often have you followed the crowd, even though your heart was telling you to go in a different direction? How many dreams have you put on the back burner because you worried about whether others would approve? It's time to break free from this cycle. It's time to step away from the opinions of others and start living for you. You deserve a life that is true to yourself, a life where you don't have to shrink, hide, or compromise who you are to meet the expectations of others. It's time to stop asking for permission to be yourself. First, we need to recognize something incredibly important. The fear of judgment is often rooted in insecurity. Deep down, the reason we care so much about what others think is that we don't fully believe in our own worth. We question our own abilities, our own choices, and our own path. We seek external validation because we don't yet trust that we are enough just as we are. We feel that we need the approval of others to feel worthy, and this is where we get stuck. The truth is, your worth is not defined by anyone else's opinion of you. Your value, your abilities, and your potential are not tied to how others see you. You are worthy simply because you exist. So how do you begin to break free from this need for approval? How do you stop caring about what others think? The first step is awareness. You have to recognize when you are making decisions based on fear, based on what others might think, and based on the idea that their approval is what matters. The next time you find yourself second-guessing your choices because of what others might say, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it feels right to me? Or am I doing this to gain approval? The more you practice this, the more you will realize how often you've been living for the opinions of others. But awareness is only the first step. The next step is to embrace your uniqueness. You have to begin loving the parts of you that make you different. Your quirks, your passions, your dreams, these are what make you stand out in a world that often tries to make you blend in. You are not meant to be a carbon copy of everyone around you. You are meant to be a unique expression of your soul, and that is something to be proud of. Stop trying to fit into molds that were never designed for you. Stop holding back your true self to make other people feel comfortable. You are not here to please others. You are here to live your truth. And guess what? When you start living authentically, when you start living unapologetically as the real you, the people who align with your true self will begin to show up in your life. The people who resonate with your energy, your passions, and your beliefs will find you. And the people who judge, criticize, or don't understand you, they will fall away because they were never meant to be a part of your journey. But it's not enough just to stop caring about the opinions of others. You also have to let go of the fear of failure. Failure is not something to be afraid of. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. We fear failure because we think it will define us. We think that if we fail, we will be judged, ridiculed, or rejected. But let me tell you this. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the process of learning, growing, and evolving. Every time you fail, you get one step closer to success because you gain wisdom, experience, and resilience. You'll never reach your fullest potential if you're afraid of falling short. So stop fearing failure and start embracing it as a natural part of the journey. Now, let's talk about something incredibly important. The judgment of others says more about them than it does about you. When someone criticizes you, when they pass judgment on your actions, it is often a reflection of their own insecurities, fears, and limitations. People who judge are often projecting their own discomfort or unhappiness onto others. It's not about you, it's about their own struggles. And here's the truth. You can't control what other people think. You can't control their opinions, their judgments, or their perceptions. But you can control how much power you give those opinions in your life. You get to decide whether you will let their judgment shape your decisions. And the answer is no. You don't need anyone's approval to follow your dreams. You don't need anyone's permission to step into your greatness. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're worthy or capable, because deep down, you already know that you are. Now, I want you to think about this. What would your life look like if you weren't afraid of judgment? What if you stopped holding yourself back because of what others might think? What would you do differently? What dreams would you pursue? What risks would you take? The reality is, you are already enough. You don't need to change yourself to fit into anyone else's idea of what's right or acceptable. You are perfect just as you are. The more you trust in yourself, the more you will attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences. You are deserving of success, love, and happiness simply because you exist. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop measuring your worth by their standards. Your journey is your own, and no one else can walk it for you. The only person you need to impress is yourself. The only person whose approval you need is your own. The moment you realize this, you will find a sense of freedom that is truly liberating. But here's the catch. Living authentically is a daily practice. It's not something that happens overnight. You will face moments when the fear of judgment creeps in, when you question whether you're making the right choices, when you wonder if you're on the right path. And that's okay. The key is to keep moving forward despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. Keep stepping into your truth. Keep showing up as the real, unapologetic version of yourself. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. You have everything you need within you to live the life you want. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're capable. You already are. So stop living for the validation of others and start living for yourself. You are enough. You always have been. The world needs your unique light. It needs your authenticity, your passion, and your voice. It needs you to show up unapologetically as the person you were always meant to be. You are not here to be someone else's version of successful. You are here to create your own version of success. It's time to stop caring about what others think and start caring about what makes you come alive. This is your life. Live it on your terms.